Um, Title of this video is called "What What's the Point?" Uh, it's not a social statement, but I don't know, maybe a mathematical one. Well, one sense it could be, you could say it's mathematical, but in another sense it's physics. Uh, uh, um, I was shown a vision about matter and the electrons and protons and whatnot, spinning around and whatnot. On the one hand, you have all kinds of particles or what we call particles or matter around you, and of course all these things are, you have electrons and protons that are spinning around in every which way. But in another respect, the way I was shown this is I was taken into its world at the subatomic level when the or subatomic level, and the movement of the electrons were actually in stationary stance in other dimensions, as if it was like a cut plane of shooting of like a globe, so that you had the globe and you had the center of the globe, and so at one point when you did the diffraction shot, you had the what we call the electron as a point or a spot on a photograph that was maybe at the top, and then it moved down through like a form of like an MRI perhaps. And then I asked this question, and I got it shown in the spirit realm rather fast, and I was wondering what, that's kind of an odd thing. What exactly does this mean? So in the various applications or understandings of background dependency in terms of understanding how the universe is or isn't, when the question then would be, is that is it many points we see out there, many different parts running around, planets, people, cars, whatever, or is it just one point that's compressed, or not necessarily compressed, just one point? We say compressed because we're talking in our third dimensional background dependency concepts on that. But is it really compressed? And then the thing that conjoins, that connected a lot of the stuff is perhaps you might say is a grace to be allowed to live in one dimension but not allowed to live in another, and yet maybe live in all dimensions but not be aware of it. It may be philosophically attuned to it, and may accept it philosophically, and may be able to write a mathematical equation for it to approve of it or not. But does that mean you're actually aware of it? You're actually able to experientially be aware of it on a moment by moment basis? And then if you were, what of it, and what does it mean with that? Uh, some mysteries have to do with time travel and moving around. I'm sitting in this chair. Does that mean I'm only sitting in this chair and I'm not somewhere else simultaneously? Do I have to get in a car to go from point A to point B, or a ship, or astral travel to another place to be there? Is that astral realm, is that anything less real than what I'm in right now? The cartoon figure that's on a piece of paper, or inside of a book, or on the screen that you watch, is that something less real, or is it more real than you are? It's like that movie Tron. Of course, for the sake of the movie, you had to, in order to for the object that was the inanimate object on the screen, in order for it to move into the world of reality, it had to go to a certain place in the game in order to jump through there to go to somewhere else. Yeah, it's arbitrary. It doesn't have to be this or that or the other thing. And yet, we say, well, if it's everything going on simultaneously, it's like a madhouse. Then how do we uh, how do we progress? How do we? It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, moving through the opposite side of the mirror with that. Uh, I'm not sure what it all means. I just know it's there, you know. And I'm not trying to make a philosophical or metaphorical statement by that, as if it was there like the monoliths in 2001. Um, the the individual development of a person, even though it's all interconnected and whatnot, must have one trajectory, must have but one trajectory, and must not share the space with another one. This is kind of like throwback to some of the statements by Pauli. No two electrons shall apply shall occupy the same space when um, the model that I was talking before, where I saw the atoms moving around as if they were in a stationary stance. When how does that equate in terms of every which way you look, there's objects when well, yeah, and this in a third dimensional mind construct when it's hard to explain it when how that could be, but it can be shifted and made into another realm, made very simple in and yet be in this realm, look something quite differently. How can they both be? How can they both be equal? Or how can one equate one to the other one? On the one hand, you may have a relationship with a woman, and she may emotionally feel something to be a certain way with or like when Goethe did his studies on colors, he had people look at different colors. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, Goethe or Goethe, whatever his name is, wrote Faust. He had people look at colors, and he got the reactions from them, what they felt about those colors from that. And I mean, is it just an emotional thing? Can we just denigrate it or leave it at that it's just emotional? Or well, then seemingly unrelated. What I'm saying is that you take a drop of water, and you drop it from your hand into a pool of water, and it bounces and does is that the same thing for an atom that's stripped of its electrons and protons, now a neutron? It's heavy, right? Shouldn't it fall? Where's it going to fall to? And why would it fall at all? And should it fall, or does it have to fall? Does it fall because of our constructs of how we understand gravity? Is it the environment? Is it the platform? Is that what dictates the program, or do we dictate it? It gets kind of confusing, doesn't it? So the thing is that we're in a world. It's kind of like that movie, the Shawshank Redemption, when it says, either get on with living or get on with dying. But this is not a life and death thing. This is a movement thing, like a learning school, kind of like that movie, or the witch school. The kids gets in there and gets to do anything any which way he can on that. Oh well, the religious right says, oh no, it's the laws, and we must follow this, we must follow that. So the question, what is the point? Where is the point? Where is absolute zero? Where is the point? What is the point?